a really pretty color, but I'm going to consider this. Oh no, these are very easy to use. Oh, that's going to make me angry. Oh no! Oh, Donna. Well, that's sad. January is low energy for me, so I've decided to shop my stash to make makeup easier for the month. Lots of people in January talk about fresh starts and resolutions, which is fantastic, but I feel like I'm just over here trying to conserve and hold on to any little bit of energy I've got left from the holidays. If you have chronic illness or fatigue or brain fog, then you understand any decision, big or small, has an energy cost to it. So I've already gone through my stash and picked about 3 products per category, and I'm going to rate them according to low, medium, or high energy, and we'll decide together which ones make the low energy January cut. So let's start with primers and make fewer decisions and not more. Okay, so these are the 3 primers that I picked, and the criteria I'm going to base my decision on is going to be whether they're low energy, which means ease of use for me based on my energy level this month, whether they're flexible, meaning they can do double duty and maybe save me a step, and do they need babysitting? So do I have to worry about how they're going to fade? Are they going to crease horribly or separate weirdly on my face? This month, I don't have time to be looking in the mirror and babysitting products. So let's talk about these 3. Let's start with the Tarte Poreless Primer. This primer is really great. I didn't like it at first. It's a putty kind of a based primer. So why I think this is high energy and won't make the January cut is because I have to press it into the skin. I have to be really intentional with how I'm applying it so that it fills in the pores. It does an excellent job, as you can see there really on my hand, but I don't have the energy to be too particular with making sure I'm pressing something into my skin exactly so I get a really smooth base. So for this month, the Tarte doesn't make it. What I would consider a medium type of primer is the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. This is a mini one. This is really nice and it gives you a glow. Lots of people use it under their foundation, mixed in with their foundation, or on top like as a highlighter. But what I find, this one is super glowy, which is great if that's what you're looking for, and oftentimes I am. You can see how much it's kind of metallic almost, and because it's so glowy, I have to be particular with where I'm putting it on my face. If I have a low energy day, I really just want to kind of slap something on my face, rub it in and go. This one, I have to really make sure I'm pinpointing it on the high points of my face. Otherwise, I look like a glowing tin man, which isn't the look I'm going for. So I would consider this one a mid-energy level product for January, so it's not going to make the cut. The third one is the MAC Strobe Cream in Bronze Light. I love this stuff. It's low energy to me because it's very easy to use. It's just like a lotion. It's kind of like a moisturizer. You can see, even though it's called Bronze Light, there's not much color to it. So it can act just like a moisturizer, which could save me a step. So that means it could be flexible. It has a little bit of radiance to it. It's not too glowy, and I don't have to babysit this one. It's not too metallic looking. The MAC Strobe Cream is going to make low energy January cut. So next we'll do overhead shots and we'll get into color correctors. I forgot, we're actually going to start with setting sprays. So I'm going to pull out the 3 that I've got. Let's rank these according to energy level. So I'm going to start with the Milani Make It Last Original, because this one I feel is high energy. There's nothing wrong with it, but the Milani one I find feels like hairspray on my face, so I don't enjoy the feeling of it. It really does make my makeup last longer, so it's effective, but I don't care for the feeling. So we're going to set that one aside. That one will be a no-go for January. The e.l.f. Power Grip Setting Spray is flexible. It can do double duty. I'm going to say this one is a medium level energy because it's really good at melting the layers together on my face, but I don't enjoy how dewy it makes me. It makes me extra dewy as like a final step setting spray, so I'm not going to choose this one because I don't want to be too glowy and having to powder a lot. The mist on this one is really nice though, just FYI. So this one is a no-go for January. The MAC Fix Plus is going to be the low energy pick. This one, like the e.l.f., does a great job of melting the layers together, so like powders and liquids and creams, and it also does a great job as being a final setting spray, and it doesn't make my face too glowy or too dewy or oily looking. So the MAC Fix Plus is going to be the go-to for low energy January. Next, we're going to pick Color Corrector. We'll start with the Charlotte Tilbury. This is in 2 medium, and it works very well as a color corrector for my dark circles. What I find with this one though is it's too dark for my skin tone. This one I wouldn't consider flexible because I definitely have to use a concealer over top of this one, otherwise you can really see the orange tone under my eyes. So this one I would consider high energy, and it's a no-go for January, but really nice and emollient and really works well if I have the energy to do a concealer over top. The next one is the Pixie Correction Brightening Peach. This is, again, a really great shade. Oh, I should have swatched the Charlotte Tilbury for you. I'll do that. The Pixie is really nice as well, but it's a drier formula. The color is better for my under eyes, but I'm going to say that this is a mid-energy level choice because I don't want to have to spend extra time blending stuff out. I just want sort of a one step and not too much effort. But you can see that's a very nice color correcting color. So this one I would consider a mid-energy level for the month. So that's a no-go for January. The last one is the MAC Prep and Prime. It's a highlighter and it's in the shade Bright Forecast. So this one can be used for brightening under the eyes. It can be used to color correct. I'm gonna say this will be my low energy choice. It's sort of a toss-up. This one is flexible because I can use this just as a color corrector and I don't have to put a concealer over top of it, which can save me a step. And I don't really have to babysit it. It blends pretty nicely and stays pretty much in place under the eyes. Everything creases under the eyes. Don't let any marketing fool you. The only trade-off with this one is sort of the ease of use. And this is all on me because I find the pen is a difficult thing for me. I never know how many clicks. Oh, there we go. There's product. I don't know if you can see that. I always kind of make a mess. See, that's so pretty. It's really creamy and emollient. It's not hard to blend out. Even though there's a trade-off with it being a bit messy, I'm going to pick this one as my low energy product for the month. All right, so that one is a yes. Okay, so the next category is going to be concealer. High energy is going to be, no. Which one's going to be high energy and which one's going to be mid energy? Why is this stumping me? Just make a decision, Donna. Just make a decision. Okay, I'm going to choose the e.l.f. Concealer. Light Sand is the shade. The Hydrating Camo Concealer. I'm going to say this one is my high energy choice and a no-go for January, but really it's only because I don't like it. I don't enjoy how this looks under the eyes. I find it's really thick. The color isn't a good match for me, but that's not why I don't like it. I just don't like the formula. So this is just gonna be a no-go. The mid one, which this one could also be considered high energy to me, but I'll say it's a medium energy one, is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I have the shade Nougatine, which is light 2.2. I don't think this is the best shade match for me either, but this one is a pot. It's nice. The only thing is I don't care for this one under the eyes. It's a good one for spot concealing on my face to cover any blemishes. It takes a little bit to blend out, but it is a very soft matte look, but it doesn't work well under my under eyes, and so that's why I'm gonna not choose this one, and I'll say it's a mid-energy one. So this one is a no-go for January, but a very nice concealer. Okay, the last one, and this is definitely a low energy one for me because it's easy to use. It's the NYX Professional Bear With Me Concealer Serum. It's very hydrating, it's emollient, it's easy to blend out. I don't know how this is gonna come out. It might come out, yep, a big blob. But it's flexible because this one not only works very well as a concealer, but it's really nice to use as a foundation. So one product I can use for two different steps, concealer and foundation. So that's why this one is gonna make the low energy January Shop My Stash basket. Okay, so next we're gonna do powder, but before we get into powder, I just wanted to let you know that when I'm talking about low energy or higher energy makeup, it's just how it feels for me. Your energy, your skin, your priorities might be totally different, and that's obviously okay. So just take what helps from this video and just leave the rest. And if you are enjoying this video, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And let me know in the comments, are you someone who likes to set a routine for January, or do you need the flexibility day to day? All right, let's pick powders. All right, so let's start with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. It's lightweight, it's mattifying, and it lasts up to 5 hours. Mine is in the shade 001 Transparent. This is an okay powder. It's not one of my favorites. It does really mattify, so I do like that about it, but I don't find I really need that much of a mattifying powder. It says it's lightweight, but I find it makes things look a little bit cakey, but it does cut down the shine, so I have to be careful with how much I actually use. It's not bad, but it's just not my powder of choice. I'm gonna rate this as my high energy powder, so it's not gonna be for the month of January, so that one will be a no-go. The next one is the Huda Beauty. This is a mini. Mine is in the shade Cherry Blossom Cake, and it's a pink powder. I love this. This is great for under the eyes. It's great for all over the face. It doesn't look too heavy. It's nice to use with a brush or a powder puff. There's lots of flexibility with this one. The only thing that I don't enjoy about this one, I never use that puff. Because I bought the mini, I don't like the way it comes out. I can't put my brush in here. I can't put a powder puff in. There's no cap to actually kind of tip it over. I know they've repackaged this since, so maybe this has changed. There's no, kind of bulky applicator. So you have to kind of tap it out in your hand or get a little bit in there and then swirl your brush in or get your powder puff. So I find it's just not as easy to, whatever tool you're using, to get even distribution. So that's why I would consider this one my mid-energy. I love this powder and highly recommend it, but I just don't like the application of it, only because it's the mini. So you can see how soft and finely milled that is. It's really beautiful. Don't know if this powders aren't going to really show up that well, but that one's really, really soft. And the pink adds a little bit of brightness under the eyes, but it's not too pink that it doesn't work for all over the face, so which is nice. This one is a no-go for the month of January. And then I always try and tap it back in. Anyway, I just make a mess. It's not for my lifestyle. All right, so the next one is one of my favorite all-purpose powders. So this one is going to be my low energy pick for January. It's the Kosas Cloud Set Powder, and I have the shade Breezy. I think for me, a pressed powder on low energy days takes less work, so it takes less energy. This is very flexible because it can work under the eyes nicely as well as all over the face. So I would consider that kind of multi-purpose. And there's no babysitting. It's not too cakey like the Rimmel. Really beautiful soft powder. It takes away the oily look, but it leaves the glow. So if I'm using a radiant primer or a radiant skin tint or foundation, this will actually leave that radiance from the product, but take away the oiliness in my skin. All right, so the Kosas is my low energy pick for January. Slide that one over here. All right, so the next one is gonna be foundation. So I've got 3 options for foundation here. Actually, I've got 4 options for foundation. So I'm actually going to pick, I think, 2 foundations here. So the high energy one that's not going to make the cut for January is the Lancome. Sorry, Lancome. Mine is in the shade 235N, maybe. This is going to be a no-go because it's full coverage. With full coverage, you can sheer it out. You just apply a little less. You could mix it in with your moisturizer or your primer to get less coverage. You could use a sponge versus a brush to get less coverage. But to me, all of that is going to take a little extra effort and not what I have in me for January. So this is a nice foundation. I have come to realize that I am not really a full coverage foundation gal, but this one is nice, but it's going to be a no-go for January. So then the next no-go, I'm going to consider the Maybelline Lifter Sticks. This one's nice, but I find, oh, I didn't swatch the Lancome one. So it's creamy, it's a little thick, but that's because it's full coverage. It just takes a little more effort that I don't have. So now let's get back to my medium energy pick, which is the Maybelline New York Lifter Stick. It's pretty emollient, but I find a cream takes a little bit more energy for me when I have low energy, just to blend out. It doesn't take a lot of extra effort, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with this product and it's not difficult to use, but if I'm thinking of how much energy I actually have, I need something even simpler than an emollient cream foundation. So this will be a no-go for January. I am gonna pick these two as my low energy options. The MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body, I have the shade C1. What shade did I have in the Maybelline? 20. It's a skin tint, and that's basically part of the reason why I'm gonna pick this as a low energy option for January, because it doesn't take much to use. This one you do have to rub between your fingers. As you work it, it'll change consistency, and that's what gives it the coverage. So it's very watery, it's easy to use, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that here on my arm swatch, which is getting out of control. Let me try that just on my fingers so maybe it'll see. But basically this one I can rub between my fingers. I don't need to use a tool if I don't want to. And I can just put it all over my face, really like a moisturizer there. So it's starting to get a bit sticky there. The consistency's changing. Yeah, so this one really has ease of use as its benefit for low energy. So that one is a go for January. And then this one is the Dr. Jart. It's the color correcting treatment. But what I like about this one for low energy, so it's green. I have a lot of redness in my face and I do like to camouflage that. This one will change color. Oh, I picked way too much there. So it will cover some of my redness, and as you rub it in, it will change just to like a beige color. And the more you rub it, the green cast goes away, but still covers some of the redness. It gives light coverage to the skin, but it evens out my skin tone. I can think of this like a skin tint, and so I don't need to apply anything else over top of it. And it also has SPF. I would not skip my SPF step. I would still do that as my daily skincare, but this just gives you a little bit of added protection. So the Dr. Jart can do double duty. So we're gonna keep that one for January. So let's move on to bronzer. The first one we'll eliminate is the e.l.f. bronzing drops. I'm not that skilled with drops. Really, I'm testing it. January is not the month for me to test new products and figure out if I like them or not. If I'm already tired and low energy, I'm not gonna be in a very positive mental headspace sometimes. Is anybody else like that? So let's put a little bit there. That's pretty. For me, I would probably prefer this mixed in with moisturizer or mixed in with a foundation versus using it as a bronzer itself. It is kind of radiant. That's very pretty though. Unfortunately, e.l.f., you are a no-go for January. The next one we're going to eliminate is the Laguna NARS Bronzing Cream. This is really nice, but I'm going to say this one is my mid-energy level bronzer, and it's going to be eliminated because it's very pigmented, which is nice if that's what I'm looking for, but for low energy days, I'm not looking for a high pigmented product. It's gonna take more to blend. I have to be extra careful with how much I pick up on the brush and how I apply it, and a low energy day, just not what I'm going for. So NARS, you're beautiful, but you are eliminated. So my low energy pick is going to be the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Perfector in Light. This product can seem a little bit confusing. It has 3 different sections. It has a contour section, a radiant bronzing color, and a highlighter. I'm going to choose this as my low energy one, but this is a flexible product. I can get a glowy bronzer, I can use a highlight, or I can use a contour, or swirl it all together and get a nice glowy bronze look all over my face. So this can do double duty. It can take care of contour, bronzer, and highlight if I want. It's also really nice on bare skin. I don't need to have a foundation down for it to look nice. Let's swatch the 3 separately. So you see how it'd be easy to build. It's not too much from the get-go. And the glowy bronzer. That's so pretty. And then the highlight. So Mario recommends, using it obviously however you like, but if you swirl it all together, just going around the perimeters of the face and using it where you might bronze. I can also use this for eyeshadows, which is nice. So that gives me more flexibility there. And then if we swirl them all together, so it's very pretty. So it just kind of deepens that up a bit and a bit more of a glow. So that's the low energy pick for January. Let me know if you agree with my choice. Next is gonna be blush. All right, let's go. The first to be eliminated is going to be Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand. It takes a lot of effort for me. So this is going to be my high energy elimination pick. It gets messy. You have to twist the cap on and off. There we go, to open it up. Squeeze product out. I always squeeze too much. It's so difficult. Okay, I tried to do a good job there. It's a beautiful color. It's super pigmented. See, there's so much. Anyway, okay, turn it off. Put the cap back on. I don't like the applicator. I just think that's kind of messy. But this is a really, really pretty color. But it's messy. It's going to make me angry on a low energy day and stress me out. I'm going to easily overdo it because I'm too tired to be paying attention. And it takes a lot to blend it out, only because it's got high pigmentation, which there's nothing wrong with that. Just not what I'm looking for on a low energy makeup day. So not for January. The next elimination is going to be the MAC Sweets for My Sweet Extra Dimension Blush. The only reason why this is going to be eliminated is because I've never used it. I don't even think I've swatched this yet. But January, a low energy month, is not the month for me to be testing products. I'm not going to be in the right headspace to give a good review. If anything goes wrong, which would mostly be based on user error, I don't want to blame the product for that. But let's give this a swatch. It's supposed to be a yellowy pink with some shimmer. Ooh, wow, I freaking love that. That's so beautiful. I'm excited to try this. But this is a no-go for January, but we're gonna use this in a testing new to me makeup. This isn't a new blush by any means. It's just new to me, something I haven't tried before. So the winner for the low energy blush is the Merit. Beverly Hills is the shade, and it's the Flush Bomb Cheek color. This one I don't have to babysit. I already know it's gonna fade naturally and beautifully. It can be worn over foundation or on bare skin, which makes it very flexible. It can be used on the cheeks and the lips. And this is a really easy color. You can build it up. It shears out nicely. It's emollient. You could set it down with a powder blush to get more longevity out of it. But what I really like about Merit is that they have a minimalist approach and everything just kind of fades naturally. That color's beautiful. All right, so she's the winner. Next is highlighter. So the first elimination is going to be the NYX Buttermelt Highlighter. The only reason why this one is going to be eliminated and considered my high energy level highlighter is because I haven't really used it. I've swatched it, and this is kind of a scary color. I wanted something fun and different than what I normally go for. I don't know how much I'll actually use it. This may end up being a declutter, but I do need to test it. Ooh, that is buttery soft. Look at that color. That would be gorgeous as an eyeshadow. Oh. Look at that. That's pretty. But a no-go for January. The next one that's going to be eliminated is the Haus Labs Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter in Peach Quartz. This is a gorgeous shade. So, so pretty. I consider this one to be medium energy because it takes just a little bit extra to blend out. And please know, any of these products I'm talking about, these products are beautiful. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm solely basing my choices on my energy level. Isn't that pretty? It's pretty glowy, and I don't know that I want that much sparkle, we'll say, in my highlighter for the month of January. January might be a little more low-key. So your beautiful Haus Labs, but medium energy, a no-go for January. And the winner, again, is Merit. They're one of my favorite brands, that's for sure. So this is the Day Glow Highlighting Balm in the color Citrine. This one is sort of a goldy color. So it's very emollient, it's easy to blend out, and it's not glittery. It blends into my skin tone really naturally, doesn't look overdone. So kind of what I'm going for January. So that one is my low energy pick for January from a highlighter. Eyeshadow is next. The first one we're going to eliminate is the Pretty Grunge Huda Beauty palette. It's a beautiful palette, but for January, it's too much choice for me, and I haven't used this that much. I'm gonna be honest, I think this palette scares me a little bit. There's some beautiful like chunky glitters, which are gorgeous, but they kind of scare me. The cream black, which is pretty intense, but there's a gorgeous purple. I think they're just very intense, and I don't know that that's what I'm looking for my eyes this month. So pretty though, hey? I definitely need more energy to use a palette like this. So Huda, sorry, but you are eliminated. The next ones I'm going to eliminate are basically kind of a category, which is the cream eyeshadow sticks. These are beautiful, and I prefer the Laura Mercier over the e.l.f. The e.l.f. I find a little dry. The e.l.f. again is similar to the elimination of the Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge. It's the color. The color's a bit too intense. That's really pretty, but I'm not looking for a really bold eye look. These are very easy to use. Oh! Okay, so this is why these ones are my medium elimination, because they might be getting a bit old and dried out, and so they fall out. Same with this one, it just falls out. That's gonna make me angry. Oh no! Oh Donna. Well, that's sad. I just want to show you the color because it's so pretty. I would repurchase this one in a heartbeat. The Intense Moonlight. Oh, sad. And let's do strapless while we're at it. Like, they're so pretty and they're great one and dones, but they're old. Perhaps they should be decluttered. Yeah, that's gonna get on my nerves. So this is a medium energy level. We don't want to induce anger, so I'm gonna eliminate these ones for January. This is a MAC palette that I made myself. You can buy the shadows as singles and you can buy the palettes. These are basic but beautiful brown neutral shades that are easy. I can do a one and done. If I'm feeling that I have a little more energy, I can do something in my crease, something all over, highlight the brow bone, add stuff under my lower lash line. There's lots of flexibility with this palette. Oh, that's so pretty. I'll figure out what the shades are and I'll put them in the description box below for you guys. And they're easy to build. Oh, I think I had some purple on my finger from the Huda Beauty one. Right, those are very pretty and they're easy to build up. The MAC palette is the yes for the low energy January Shop My Stash. The next one is going to be eyeliner. Okay. The first one I'm going to eliminate is the MAC Eye Kohl in the shade Feline, which is a beautiful black. I don't want anything too intense for January. I feel like that's not the vibe I'm going for, but this is beautiful. But that is a high energy one and a no-go. The medium one that I'm going to eliminate is another MAC one. It's the Eye Kohl in the shade Costa Riche, which is a reddy brown. This is really beautiful, but again, I need to test this one more, so that one's a no-go. And the one I am going to use for my low energy one is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Boundless Bisque. This one I like in the waterline. On the waterline, it makes my eyes look a little brighter, makes me look a little more awake. I feel like that's kind of what I'm going for January. Kind of look fresh, more wide awake, look like I have more energy than I actually do. So this one, if I use an eyeliner, it's gonna be this one in my waterline. Next, let's keep with the eyes and let's do mascara. So the first one to eliminate that I'm going to say is high energy is the YSL Lash Clash Mascara, the waterproof version. And the reason why this is high energy for me and a no-go for January is because it's waterproof. Taking it off takes some effort. I do have a waterproof micellar water, so that makes it a little easier, but I do find this is a little drying on my eyes, so this is a no-go for January. Medium energy product is going to be the MAC Lash Primer. This is really nice, and I do find that it helps my mascara from flaking and smudging too much, but it's an extra step. I want to try and eliminate steps and save energy in January and not add more. So I'm not going to add another step if I don't really need to. So that is a no-go. And the winner is the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. I really like this. This I find doesn't really smudge or flake too badly on me, and I really love this formula. It's almost like rubberized is the only way I can really describe it. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but it really coats every lash, a nice thick coat. I really enjoy this. And this one is starting to get a little bit old, so I want to make sure I use it up for the rest of the month of January. So that is my low energy pick for January. All right, so next, let's do some brow products and a couple miscellaneous things here. Okay, so this kind of belongs in the eyeshadow section, but we're still in the eye section. This is the e.l.f. Lock It Down Eyeshadow Primer. This works okay. I'm not going to use an eyeshadow primer in January. I'm just not interested in doing the extra step. So we'll set that one to the side. This is for lips, but it's the MAC Prep and Prime lip product. So what it does is it helps your lipstick from not feathering. This is pretty good. I like to use it, especially if I'm using a darker color or a gloss that sometimes might seep out into my wrinkles in my lip lines. I'm not interested again in adding an extra step, so I'm not going to use a lip primer or an eye primer. Now we're into brows. The first one I'm going to eliminate, which is my high energy brow product, is the e.l.f. Brow Lift. This is just in clear. This one I'm going to eliminate just because ease of use isn't there. You have to put the spoolie in. So I either scoop some out with the paddle and put it on the back of that brush so I can get the spoolie in, or lots of people, and I've done this before, bend the spoolie so you can get it in, but then you're not coating the spoolie all the way around. So I just don't enjoy the application of it. It takes a little bit of extra effort. I use too much and it gets white and flaky in my brows. So we're going to eliminate the e.l.f. The second, I'll say mid-energy product I'm going to eliminate is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz eyebrow pencil in the shade Ash Brown. I'm not really sure how to use an eyebrow pencil, as silly as that sounds. It has a very fine tip, which is lovely, but for the life of me, I can't get it to lay down color. I don't know if it's dried out and old. I just can't get anything out of it. So this one might have to even be a declutter. We're gonna move it on. So the winner of the low energy is the MAC Pro Locked Brow Gel. It's just clear. This has great hold. The brush is really cool. So it's a flat paddle side there, and then it's got bristles on this side here. It's very easy. So you can brush that through your brows and then flatten it out for a laminated look. This one's really easy. A clear brow gel just kind of keeps my brows in place and gives a bit of more of a polished look. So brows aren't a non-negotiable for me. Lots of times I don't even do my brows, but if I feel like doing them in January, this is a good option for me. All right, so next we're going to move on to lips. Let's do lip liners first. The first one that I'm going to consider high energy is the MAC lip pencil in the shade Night Moth. It's going to be eliminated for me just because the shade is really dark. That's a gorgeous like purple color. I love that. But January's not a bold makeup month for me, I don't think. And this would need a little bit of babysitting because I'd be concerned if I didn't get my lip line quite right. So this one would be check throughout the day and make sure the color wasn't bleeding into my lip lines or that kind of thing. So that's why I'm going to eliminate this one, but nothing wrong with it at all. The next one I'm going to eliminate is a Maybelline Lifter Liner lip liners, and this is in the shade On It. A really pretty color, but I'm going to consider this. Oh no. All right. Pause. All right. This is a really creamy lip liner. It's nice. It's got great longevity, which means I don't have to babysit it. I find you have to blend it out fairly quickly. So for me, ease of use is an issue and is what makes this a medium energy lip liner for me. Because I'm slower at doing lip liner, I do a section, blend it out with my finger, do another section instead of just being able to line my lips in one go or take as much time as I need. But this has great staying power if you're looking for a long-lasting lip liner and a good drugstore option. That's a no-go for January, unfortunately. The winner, surprise, surprise, is another Merit product. This is their Signature Lip Sheer Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Bespoke, which is sort of a pinky mauve color. It's a twist up. It's very creamy. It's not long-lasting. For some people, that might be a con. For me, it's a pro because I can blend it out easily. It doesn't give me a super sharp lip line, so it makes me feel like I know what I'm doing a little bit better. I don't feel like I have to be looking in the mirror and going, ooh, did I overline? Did I underline? Does it look ridiculous? And it fades away really naturally. So if you're looking for something with longevity or impact, this wouldn't be it. But if you're looking for a really soft, natural lip liner product and you're a beginner, I think this would be a great one to test. And I love this color. I don't know if there's a, oh yeah, and there is a sharpener on the other end. Cool. So that is the lip liner of choice for January. Next, we're gonna do lips. So I've got 4 products here for lips. The one I'm going to eliminate as the high energy one is the Maybelline Vinyl Superstay Vinyl Ink. Mine is in the shade 35. This one is high energy because you have to shake it in order to activate whatever the formula is in there. Not something I'm interested in spending a lot of energy on. It's a very pretty color, but you also have to be careful with how much you use on your lips. If you put too much on, which that would be way too much for my lips, it never really dries down, which isn't necessarily the problem, but it remains really tacky in kind of an uncomfortable way. So this one is a no-go for January. Medium energy one that I'm going to eliminate is the Nude Sticks Sun-Kissed Nude, what is this called? Intense Matte Lip and Cheek Pencil. So it does have flexibility where it can be used on lips and cheeks, which is nice. The word intense along with matte really spells it out for me there. And I've used this one quite a bit. I like it better on my cheeks than on my lips, but it is very pigmented. So I think that's where when they say intense, what they mean. It's highly pigmented. It blends out nicely, but it's just too much pigment, and I'm not a huge fan of the color on myself. So that's why I'm going to eliminate it. So she's out. So now I'm left with 2, and these are both winners. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Benetint by Benefit. This is just a little sampler. This I'm going to choose because it's flexible for lip and cheek, and it's very easy to use. It's basically a water stain, so I don't have to think too hard about applying it. It's a really pretty sheer color. It also doesn't require babysitting, and it makes any other lip product I might put on top of it not require babysitting. Say I put a gloss over top of this, when the gloss fades off or comes off, I'm just going to be left with the nice stains. So this one is a definite yes. And then the other yes for the low energy is the Makeup by Mario Super Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Bare. This is a really soft, neutral color. It's a really thick gloss, which is definitely my preference. It doesn't take any babysitting for me, and it adds a lot of nice hydration. So I really enjoy this, and I know I've used this one in other videos. Yeah, so let's just take a little bit of that and put it over top of that. So you can get a nice little bit of shine there on top of the lip stain. Yeah, so this one is a go. The last one I've got isn't makeup, but it's perfume. I love perfume, and I got a few travel size ones here. And I'm going to choose one to use for the rest of the month of January, which I know I'm late. This is going to go up late, but that's okay. So the one I'm going to eliminate is the MAC Turquoise perfume. It's got that beach kind of vibe, I'd say, but I have never used this one yet. So the MAC is a no-go. We'll test that another time. The second one is going to be the Commodity Milk Expressive. This is beautiful, and I love it, and it is a nice warm scent, but it's a little strong, or it's got a heavier presence, we'll say. And so I'm looking for something that is a little lighter. This is beautiful, just not for me for the month of January, but I'm really enjoying this one. The winner is, for the low energy, is the Salt and Stone Saffron and Cedar, and it's a hair body mist. This is really light. I'm not good at describing scents. If you can imagine a cedar scent, saffron, I couldn't really describe that to you, but it's a warm scent to me. This is very new in my collection, but I've used this a couple of times. Even though I'm testing it, it's not an overpowering scent, so I don't mind testing something that I've used a couple of times that I know I already really enjoy. It doesn't feel overwhelming to me. So this one is good for January. So let's take a look at all of the no's. Okay, so these are all of the, what I consider to be mid to high level energy products that aren't going to fit my low energy January vibe. Okay, so the no-goes. Another time. And these are all of the yeses for January. So that doesn't feel overwhelming at all. That feels easy and light. All right, let's organize it. That's it for January. It doesn't feel overwhelming, seems very easy. Okay, so now I have to decide, do I have enough energy to apply this, do a full face of this stuff? I think I do. Let's do it. So this is our January look, and these are our January products. A small selection, but that's the point. I wanted to shop my stash in January so that I had to make fewer decisions. I used less energy, and I had makeup that felt right for how I'm feeling. If this slower, energy-aware way of thinking about makeup helps you, I'm going to do a shop my stash every month. I'll adjust as my energy changes and talk about what's doable and what doesn't feel doable. I'm not a makeup expert, but I am someone who lives with limited energy, and so I understand how little decisions can add up as a big energy cost. Success for me with the Shop My Stash isn't going to be about using absolutely everything I pick or doing a full face every day. It's about feeling calm instead of stressed or overwhelmed. So take what helps out of this video and just leave the rest behind. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, be fibrofabulous.